Hello traders, hello folks, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today episode we're gonna be talking about zones. We just finished speaking about structures the last video which I shared yesterday. So today I'm gonna be talking about zones. Then after that we'll be talking about confirmations on rather Wyckoff or break of structures, all depending on how you wanna see it. So the zones that I do use for my personal trading strategy are incoming zones slash POIs because most people do call them POIs, most call them order blocks, some call them, you know, they're all still the same thing, but it all just matters how you do peak your zones. Can you also this? Let me increase this. It all do matter how you do peak those zones because they're all still saying the same thing, which is uh the zones to buy from here to here, supplies holding from here. They're all still point of interest. We all want to get involved. So I used supply, or let me just say one. I use supply and demand, supply and demand zones. Uh, there are ways to look at it. You can also say, or you can call them order blocks. Based on zones, I don't use SNR note. I don't use S or let me just say it out in full, support and resistance. I don't use support and resistance because it's just like lines on the chart. Basically, something is going to stick. Think about it. So these are the only two ways, two things that come to my mind if I'm trying to pick a point of interest to rather trade from or trade to, because I might be expecting to trade off of, let's say, how can I show you this? Okay, let me use this move. I might be expecting to trade off of this order block here or something, or you can call it a supply. I'm expecting to trade off of something like this here, but I can use it to trade to instead of from. Are you getting that? There are two ways to look at your points of interest. You can use them as your targets. You can use them as you trading from them, you know. So those are the two main things that kind of sit them unless they get it invalidated. And that's that about that. And as for zones, I do say this in my Telegram channel. I've made a post about that before. If you guys are not there, you can go check through my Telegram channel. I think I don't have it down here yet. My Telegram channel is on the bottom of this video. I added that back then saying 25% to 20% of all supply zones and demand zones do hold. So when you do confirm them, that's when like the RRR to get like crazy and something like that. So for zones, we're gonna look like this. Let's see. Let's go back to. Alright, I'll be using G a GU chart today. The last one I used was EU. Kind of used two pairs mostly, AU and GU. AU is like a pair whereby I don't see anything on EU or I don't see anything on GU, I'm most likely gonna use or check out AU to see if there is anything interesting. And if there is not, then hey, no trade for the day. Well, looking at zones and supply zones, first of all, or let me just take it like this: what makes a zone valid, and what makes is the order block an order block? As I said, uh, what makes another block another block, and what makes a supply a supply? Another block is quite valid when coming. Uh, so this we're just gonna call it a red bar. Oh, we're gonna print this a green. We're gonna print this one red. So this red here, the red bar here actually just indicates. Can you all see that? Okay, let me just move it here a bit. I'm trying to actually brighten the screen, but it turns out I can't. Well, literally. So it turns out like the last sell to buy kind of here is where you can actually call a order block. You can call a demand level. You can call it's not a support or a resistance. No, this is way the ideology is far different from just calling something a support or a resistance, which you might just the market failed to cross here and here and next time we're just looking for it to go here. No, this is looking at how the candlesticks do present themselves as price action because we're here looking at price action, not just market being consolidating way too much in an area. Because the market is consolidating way too much in an area, that makes it a support or no. That just makes it a tough level to get involved with, and there are others being going through into that same market in and out. It's not just like because it's a support or a resistance, price are not just going in, they're just stuck there until probably the break, and you take the breakout and probably get smashed again. And I've spoken about this in my first video. How most people do get tricked by using support and resistance. Well, if you want to go watch that out, I think it's the 10 minutes stamp or 15 minutes stamp. I did speak about that. Well, check that out if you want to, if you want to see what I was thinking to bring that up. So yeah, this level here is how we do call the. This is going to be a bullish order block here because this other block here, it's going to be the one to uh, denote the next price move, which is most likely if there is an imbalance at the middle of this order block and the candle. For instance, let me show you what I'm talking about. One more candlestick would explain better. Alright. We see these three candles. There is a little space here. If there is, which is on your chart, I'm going to show examples of live chart below. I'm just trying to use this as a notation, so I'm sure you can see. Uh, if there is little space in here for price or that price hasn't gotten to fill out the inefficiencies, well, the other block here or the supply zones or the demand zones you've got marked out or your point of interest is most likely to be valid or to it can be valid in different forms because valid means number one, when it gets here, it can just stop here and that's it. It's valid. The move is valid for it actually taking out the next available high. It's taking out liquidity. It's valid. If it wants to go lower, it can. You know, that's why you rather have to know when to partial, when to take a little profit, when to get out, when to stay if you want to stay, you know. Excuse me. So these are what I see with zones. And my POI are just marked by this. The last move to take the buy, the last sells to the buys is the one we do denote as our point of interest. So with that being said, let's do some little case studies in here. All right. For GU, I can see first of all, oh, this I here started by this been taken out already. This low drove all the way to this down, and this is a pullback. This is definitely a pullback because we didn't get an expansion out of the range. We've been in this range for as long as we can. You know, we've been in this range here. We've been in this range here till we broke. And I'm sure it took longer to fall than to actually what to take it higher basically. So yeah, the zones here for me would be like this consecutive candles, the two by consecutive candles on the two by candles basically here, and it broke down. I'm coming. I wanna do this. Yep, the two by candles right down here or right about here are gonna be my order blocks, even though this might just be like a refinement and it's approved because of this little imbalance right down here. Remember I was studying something about remember I was trying to get your minds across to this. Sorry, getting your mind across to this little space here that makes it quite a valid level to look at. Yeah, that's exactly what we're looking at right above here. That same space makes this candle a valid uh, position or POI to look at, or a valid order block to look at for sales from. And it's not just that. First, you gotta what, zoom out and see what's going on. We can see like from the higher time frames. Let's go to the monthly. This might probably be a quick GU breakdown or something. Let's go to the monthly. On the monthly, we can see like shit. We've been bearish. Totally, we've been bearish on GU, and we haven't actually taken out any highs or whatsoever. And one thing I can actually see again is we failed to close beneath this low, which well I can say it's what probably news. So this is still like a consolidation kind of move, but still I'm still gonna leave it as we failed to close below the low. And if we're gonna take time dragging above, then or trying to pull back, I won't expect us to actually take out this high though. I won't expect us to take out this high. But for now, we're still in this little move right down here. Still in this little move. Stick with me, stick with me. If you're still here with me, kindly subscribe, give me a like if you feel I've dropped enough value, or if you still if you feel hey I'm not worth it yet, no problem. But kindly drop a like and subscribe if I've given you a few nuggets to. So yeah, this level here will be whereby I look for like my invalidations from, like if I do get it from this level or if the market do go higher, I should probably not be looking for sales any longer. Do you get that? I'll put this as my invalidation, and here should probably be like our next liquidity run if we want to actually run lower. Did you get that? I'm not forcing it to run low. I'm not forcing it to run lower. I'm not like, yo, G, you gotta run lower, gotta run. No. Doesn't gotta do anything you're thinking right now. Then just gotta chill. G is gonna run when it wants to run. Are you getting that? Which is by what? You knowing you're bearish and you're gonna keep being bearish until this low rather gets tackled, or we've taken our lows here, but still it doesn't have to go to this low. It's the majority of the move from this POI already, which is more than 50%. It can actually just keep going higher. But I'm saying I'm not forcing it to go lower, even though my strategy says, or even though how I do test, how I do trade says, we should be expecting probably a little move to this downside, taking out this liquidity or so, or whatever. But I don't care about that. I do care what might happen next. What is the market going to do next? What's happening the next week, the next day? This might take probably what, 4 months or so to deliver. I don't know. I don't care. That's cheating for you. So we're at this range here, and if we do go lower to the weekly time frame, and let's see, after this has happened, we just schmeat lower. We schmeat lower like we failed to actually create, excuse me, structural plays. But yeah, the little lower eyes and liquidity being grabbed. I can't actually call this. Did you see what we did talk about here? Well, let me make it like this. We all started from here, went lower. From lower, we pushed a little bit of lower high, and we created a new leg of lower low, breaking this one here, probably a little break, which was still valid to tell us, oh, probably we might be going lower still. That happened, and we failed to respect this level, but we also failed to close out of that level. So it was just like a liquidity grab that ended up rolling to the downside. And you can get that confirmed by you rather waiting for this. Excuse me. Amazing. Well, I'll do this here. You can rather wait for the level to show you what it wants to do. But I mean to show you what it wants to do. I mean, for instance, when we were right here, let me kind of expand on this. When we were here, we went high. Can you see that? We pushed up again. We pushed back down. We took out this high. This one just right here that we just created. And the next couple of weeks just tried to fail to go higher. They tried going higher, but they did fail. So we broke this low by this candle, and this was a pullback, and we just shimmied to the downside, and that was it. And that was that. So for the supplies and range and all those like that, same thing happened there again. We eventually came out to take our this eyes. Eventually came out to take out this eyes. This eyes, well, I can, let me just do it so you see. I can probably say this is the last buy to sell, but what it got taken out. It's it's allowed. So far we didn't actually get the close, but it's dawns on you if you've actually entered without having a confirmation, expecting this level to just hold. You're most likely take a loss and probably try to enter again. That's if you are confident. You get what I'm saying? But if you're not really that confident, you're probably gonna you just probably watch this just roll over, and but if you did take what I've said to heart, knowing like this is most likely gonna be a liquidity grab, especially if we're still holding a range. Like for instance, we've been low already here, which is we're going low, and this has switched here already. What like we kept printing lows. So why are you looking for highs until probably this low is been taken out? And that was what happened here. It got taken out till we found like a reversal, or let me call it a reversal. It's a pullback. After we got taken out, we actually just kept building those other blocks. The last down to the up move went out. It got taken. From that, this move here created the last one, you know, and the last move here got created where you can actually refine it to this one here. You can refine it to this level here. Why? Because this inefficiencies, I'm sure you can see that, right? The middle of that candle. Yeah. But it's not every time that happens. It can just stop actually just at the first candle here. This should be your threshold of where you should want to see things being held at right up here. Your threshold, the opening to the close. After it goes down there, the bulk should be like 50%. 50% should be where you like get most of your uh value out of it, you know. Then if you start going lower, you can only get a equal low probably when it's full mitigation, you know. The mitigation actually takes place at the bottom, like it's a full mitigation, so you end up having probably, yeah, like this week here mitigated, and it all looks like equal lows, and people are trying to, you know, sell equal lows or whatever. I don't want to know what they're trying to do right now about equal lows or no. So yeah, the zones here held. Then we kept moving. There is no zone here. The last buys this is the last, this was the last sell before the buys did came through, and that was that. Are you getting how I'm doing? This is the last sell before the buys did come through. This, it got valid when this got taken out and probably retraced. Yep, closed already right up here. Yeah, we're actually showing signs like if it wants to go lower from this liquidity standpoint, and I even doubt it because we're actually expecting sales from up here. So why are we trying to sell down here? So your aim should be trying to get up here first before we start looking for sales. Yeah, and there are like little zones here as for future purposes. Those zones were not being held, and not all will be, and they all just went through because, well, now we're going lower. Excuse me. This is where I always say you rather use the zones for confirmations or for targets. For instance, when you're up here and this market actually does something like this, for instance, this you should be expecting us to come down from. So probably way up here to somewhere up down here. Are you getting that? So if you're having sales already from up here to this is bread. How many peeps ish? Almost 500, 600 pips. Bread. And this is already having something on the chart just there waiting for you. And imagine, wow, imagine what this would have been. Let's say we took a sale from somewhere there. And imagine what this one would have been here, almost 1,000 plus pips. So like opportunities are kind of endless. Imagine like I'm trying to sell from up here your way down here until you try to get lower, you will be in a position whereby you know, all right, first I don't have to be trading every day. I just come through, look for my point of interest, I shoot. Did I score? Yes. I won trades. Good. If you didn't score, you missed your shot. Good. You wait for the next one. You know, it's just like that. It's like catching a bus. So yeah, bullish moves keep order the last down. Then after this is done, this will be the last down one. Up moves it got mitigated right down there. I'll consider that as it. Uh, after that got mitigated, well, just keep pushing up. And this was the last sells here for the buys. Are you seeing that? Or if you want to be too, you see this? This is like a uh, order block, but this level, this is probably what you see me do most of the time as a supply or demand. Let me show you. Sorry, excuse me. An order block can literally just be like the last buy or sell. To that, it can be two candles, three candles, four candles, but this can be said to be a block. This block got held, and yeah, that's it. But if I'm to use what's it called, a supply zone, all the zones here are probably what, well, this took this out, took out this low, this failed to break this low, then this low hits, it's like a, what's it called, this low here is a higher low, and this one here, this is a lower low. No, it's not. This here, it's uh an higher low, make giving us a lower low, and this low here is now above this low. Then it's clearly just saying like we are just trying to give us a three-headed formation. We're trying to go up again. Like you can see the over volume or bulk of the volume just sharing at the bottom of this. This just grabbed liquidity. Yep. Then if it's up to me, I would have just tried to enter right here if I'm gonna see the move, because the imbalance is clearly at just right the spot. It can just do this with this one candle and we're just gone the next. So I prefer entering like this. And also I use other blocks. That's why I didn't just call myself a supply and demand level. I use point of interest. Let's put it that way. So far it's something I look at and probably find my confirmations at. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. So from here we kept going higher and we just broke this level. Then after that, the level we switched momentum to the downside. We just kept respecting those eyes, bro. We just, yeah, yeah, down. We just kept respecting those eyes. Pushed all over down. These eyes were already mitigated, as you can see. So the next one I would probably want to be using is, let me see, is this level clean? Not really. So I can actually just say I'll use the old this thing. So the old handle, I will peek. See, it didn't even get tagged. That's why I don't actually like picking things like this. But it's something I would have done as well too. So I will leave it there. You don't always get tapped. We should we should know that. And oh, beautiful. This was even when I was talking about saying catching cells from down here. You see, the entry could have provided itself. If I let me say gone to like a daily chart, the entry might have provided itself. Going to the lower time frame, I could have. I needed just 50% to be met if I could start looking for the down move, and that has been met. So yeah. Then after that, we got a move to the downside that broke structure. And after we got this last up one candle here, leaving imbalance here, just little tiny little thing here. So with that, we got this supply level taking us to the downside. And this trade here, I swear, I'm not even trying to do that right now. Why am I even doing that? Why am I swearing, bro? Shouldn't cuss. Don't cuss. Uh, to be honest with you guys, I called this trade way even before it happened on my channel, and it's gonna be linked down in the description below. And currently, the trade is just still way down here right now. So levels have been met, levels have been touched. For instance, this level here, got mitigated, and after that, this is probably a threshold for you. If you want to actually trade after this candle got broken, you can probably say you want to look at this candle 50% of the body. Yeah, 50% of the body. Did we get me? Yeah, we did. Just see that. Please jot all this down. Please jot all this down. Just 50% of the body, and that was being met, and that's can also be like a threshold for your other blocks if you want to do that. But what makes that valid? One thing that makes that valid is this 1, 2, 3. Did you? Alright, I'm gonna call off the video very soon. This will be the end of the topic. Did you see how 1, 2, 3 got expected and they never went higher? Even though this took out this, you always want to find your middle candle and a lower one to the right of it or to the left of it. So you have a middle candle, which is just here. Let me get my brush. I think I'm using the wrong one. You have a middle candle here. You have one to the left. And you have another to the right. Excuse me. So with this being said, these 3 points are like where you want to see the market probably not break. It can probably take out this one, but when it takes out this probably should change your trading bias. But it also depends how the market uh takes out that level. If it's with an impulsive move and a displacement, yes, we might switch to bullish. If it's not and it's just like a week or something, yeah, we might still be on the same bear, definitely. So the 50% of this body, yeah, it's another threshold where you can look for yourselves. And I didn't know this was gonna happen, so it's not like I'm gonna actually start talking or saying things that I have cooked already or something. No, I'm here giving you things off the top of my head, because if I try to write a script, I will just try to tell you things I don't want you to know or things I might want you to know. So stick with me if I'm getting a bit clumsy or I'm mixing up my words. I'm sorry about that. I'll get better with YouTube videos and talking to cameras, and you know what all that means basically. So this is how I actually want you guys to look at the zones, and the next time we're going to talk, we'll be speaking more about confirmations. And thank you for watching this video. Take care of yourself. Bye.